All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. At least here in New York, I see maybe we have some international viewers here, which is awesome. So welcome to our first sort of pilot vodcast. So the goal of this, in my mind right now, is to be similar to what we do with the observing live streams, but not have to worry about the clear sky side of things. So we can actually schedule these a lot better, and actually put out a whole list potentially of live streams on our channel, so you know when to expect things rather than just have them thrown at you. Today is just going to be a test of this, and I figured one of the best ways to do that is building this Lego model we have here. We did a time lapse of this Space Shuttle discovery. I think this was also a LEGO ISS brand, which is their community focused. Vote for the best set, and LEGO will build it. Let's see. Checking in the chat here. Bali is saying there is a bit of an echo. I see why. There we go. There were two mic sources. I forgot about one. So now we should just have the one, and there should be no double layering of my voice there. Thank you for pointing that out. So, like I said, during this stream, we're going to build this set. And I do have the LEGO Shuttle Discovery here, and this also has the Hubble, which is really cool. We do have a video on our channel about that, going over some of the features, I guess, of that one. This one is Saturn V, really nice tall set. I did not build this one. This one was, I believe, donated to us, and I apologize that I cannot remember who at the moment, but we thank them all the same. So I'm not exactly sure how long this one is going to take. It is 864 pieces, which is a lot better than this. This was 2,000 something, and I think we can get through most of it. I do have to end the stream around 4 because we have another program tonight, an in-person event. So we'll do our best here, and if we don't get through it all, maybe I'll record the rest of it, or just show you the final product on the channel. I'll also mention LEGO's not a sponsor of this in any way. This is just one way that we can provide outreach, because everyone likes LEGO, and it's a great platform to talk about the engineering of the space station and space exploration and human space exploration itself. And that's really the topic of today's show. So while we go through this, feel free, like always, post some comments in the chat. If you have questions, I'll be monitoring them on my phone. You can see table's kind of busy. Again, when we do our live streams as of right now, we set up all at once and tear down at the end, because our facility is always changing. So apologies for the wires that are kind of all over the place, but maybe we'll get a more refined setup at one point. This is the same setup. Like, now you can see it in nice bright lighting. Same setup I use for observing, in the sense that I have the microphone. I have maybe multiple cameras. I'm using a web camera for the tabletop view today, which I will switch to that as the main view in just a minute or two, so that you can see what's going on the table up close, and then the small window will be the wide camera that you see me in right now. I think that's more valuable to see what's happening with the set, but you'll still see me. All right, checking here. All right, it looks like we're all good. So why don't we start opening this up, and let's see how many bags we end up with. All right, let's transition to the tabletop. There we go. Okay, so where's the, usually they have some sticky tape here. I'll try and make sure that the shot is always framed up as we go through this. And I'm hoping that I'll have enough to get a little bit of a time lapse. I'll be able to take some of this footage and do that. In fact, why don't I start recording so I have that as an option later on. It records to YouTube too, but YouTube has a lot of compression issues sometimes when you download the file after a live stream. So might as well just record the good data, so to speak. All right. So we got 3. That's just looking for 1. This is already looking a lot more manageable than the Space Shuttle. That one just took so long. It was fun though. Decent sized book. We'll throw the box on the ground for now. Might be a good way to transport it later on when I have to bring it back. Okay, let's see, how's that framing going? Yeah, it's kind of upside down from your end, isn't it? Why don't we flip this? We're just going to do a little flip of the camera view so it's looks like you're looking at it from my perspective. And again, if you're not able to stick around for the whole thing today, like I said, this might take a couple hours. Don't fret. We'll have this up on the channel afterwards for you to view, and maybe I'll be able to get a time-lapse version of this out too. Let's see. There we go. Transition that over, and now it makes a little more sense. Okay, so the really, really nice part I like about what they're doing with their instruction books is that they include a bunch of factual information about, when I was doing the Space Shuttle, a bunch of stuff as you build each part. A little factoid pops up in the corner telling you about what you're building, and some of the science that has been done on these spacecraft. It's really a nice way to celebrate the space programs. So let's see. I'm just going to read through a couple things here just because I like to, I want to get the full experience too. And I'm not sure how well that text is probably coming through your end. It's probably a little fuzzy. But let me see if I can find a good fact here for us all. Well, yes, that's true. 16 times a day, the ISS orbits the Earth on a continuous path of discovery. So that's why on a given evening, we're able to observe that happen time and time again as the evening goes on, because it takes 90 minutes for it to orbit around. So if you see it early on in the evening, more than likely you're going to have another chance after, in the next hour and a half. So the 15 nations involved provide global leadership to advance human space exploration, enable scientific research that benefits humanity, and establish a robust low Earth orbit economy. And it also mentions STEM here, crucially, science, technology, engineering, and math. That is, of course, our focus of education here at Kopernik. So it looks like this was a commemorative part of the 20th anniversary of the space station. It has maintained continuous human presence since November 2000. Wow, this really is robust here. There's you can see the cupola there. That's the main viewport of the ISS. We did have a little tour of the ISS here with a VR show. I was able to tour around in virtual reality and look at all the different nodes and locations in the shuttle, and even went out on a spacewalk. And we did get to visit the cupola too and look out at the Earth. Oh, also with the ideas things, you always get a little blurb about who designed this set, because again, these are sets. The ideas are sets designed by the community of LEGO, not the engineers there, the LEGO builders. They're sets that you can submit. So keep that in mind. If you are really into building your own LEGO, you can submit some sets to their company, and maybe you'll get voted on. And there's a lot of cool ones. Saturn V might have been one as well. And the Curiosity rover is one we don't have. That one came out, of course, around. Well, it was one of the early days sets, I believe. One of the early Ideas sets before Ideas was really the name. That one came out probably around 2012 when Curiosity landed. That one's a very neat one. All right, we'll carry on here. We got different languages. Fortunately, I cannot read those, so I will carry on through. Very nice intro, however. All right, here we are. So it shows you the breakdown. We got the breakdown of the different parts of the ISS as we build. In bag one, looks like we're gonna get the little scale model, or at least as close to scale model. They're not mini figures; they might be micro figures or something, because you don't build them. They're just one single model, and they're as close to scale as you can get with the ISS. And then there's also a Scale Shuttle, and it looks like maybe Cygnus or Dragon capsules there as well. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, let's get started with. There's bag 6 when you're all done. I appreciate it also has a stand like the shuttle. Okay. I like the first step. It basically is just telling you take out the 2 little astronauts. So let's get bag 1 here. I apologize if the bag opening is harsh at all. Usually this microphone does a pretty decent job of balancing that out. Now, when I do this sort of thing, I do enjoy organizing the parts. I believe that's officially called knolling in the makerspace sort of community. When you have like a kit like this, you try and separate out the parts just so you can always find what you're looking for. Now this set isn't going to be huge, and the pieces in the bags, there's not a ton of them like there was for the shuttle or a Saturn V, I imagine too. So it's not as important here, but usually I just like to color coordinate. I don't get too intricate with it. And then when I'm looking for something, there it is. Just find the color. Sometimes I will get more organized into bigger and smaller pieces and like pieces. But today we'll just do a little color organizing. That's pretty good. Close enough for me. This one has some of the solar panels for the capsules, the scale model capsules. All right, first step, very tough. Here's, I can't, well, actually I could hold it up to the camera. I'm not sure if it'll focus, but there is the tiniest little astronaut I've ever seen. So that's pretty cool because it does, oh, there's 3 of them. They only show 2 here. We got an extra astronaut. How about that? All right. Next up, we're going to start building what looks to be one of the capsules. All right. So I'll pop that on here. I think this is just one of the regular studs. I don't think... No, it is one of the studs with the hole in it. Okay. That goes right on the top. All right, there's one thing done. Let's see if we can... We don't need these bags off to the side. I can always grab them from the ground, so that's what we're going to do. Give us a little more room. This is the solar panel bag, for the solar array, massive solar array that really makes the station look so huge. And part of the reason why you can see it so well at night. Okay. Next up, one of the... Possibly no, it's not a crew capsule. It looks like maybe one of the cargo capsules. All right, this one's pretty straightforward too. Although I really do like the simplicity of the super tiny model sets, whether it be Lego or what have you, because it does give you, you know, what you expect out of, like, there's Star Wars ones, for example. You know, you can build a mini Star Wars Millennium Falcon or something, and just with using so many pieces, you know, your brain knows, oh, okay, that's the ship I know and love. Now this one's interesting. I think I snapped one of them in too close, so let's see if I can pop it out. This thing, greatest thing Lego ever invented. Yeah, I did put that one in too close. So let's see if we can pry it out a little bit. I'll probably end up using this a fair bit, so you'll see all the different ways that you can utilize. Whoa! That probably came right at the wide field camera. Yeah, I think I'll need to go get that. It flung across the room. I think it landed in a chair. Here it is. Okay, well, we were able to get it out. Let's see if we can align this a little better so they're a little more even. That looks good. Okay. And then we'll grab... And I do want to eventually start talking a little bit about the recent NASA developments here in the United States. But we will hold off for a little while on that. We'll keep going, at least continue to get started on this guy. Just stay a little more focused on the Lego building for the moment. All right, so this roundy bit is neat. Let me pop that on there. That does not lock in place, I don't think. Yep, it just sits there. Okay. This feels like it should be able to go a little bit. Is this the right size? Yep, that's the right size. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm moving on to the wrong... I got mixed up. I lost my step here. I just have this. This just gets solar panels on it, and then we are good to go. There we go. There's our little cargo capsule. This one I'm not sure about. It's another simple one, but it's just hard to tell exactly what this one is. This one here seems pretty clear that it's a cargo, one of the cargo capsules, but this one I am not sure of. It's the top that's confusing me a little. I thought there'd be something more to go on it, but apparently not. But it has the same solar panels on it. Basically the same structure except for that top part with the pole and the ball. That'll do. We got this, and we got this. There, oh, yeah, panels too. I'm excited to build a little shuttle. We'll do a little comparison of the tiny shuttle versus the big one once we get that constructed. I think that might be the next step. Yep, it is. All right, let's build this mini shuttle, mini Discovery. See how the camera's doing it. That's a good view. I'm not mad about what we have going there. Let's see if I can scooch the laptop over a little bit. Okay. This is going to be a lot easier than the one next to me. All right, gonna add the wings, but again, I like the mini version of it too. This one here is incredibly detailed, and I love that I did test out that Hubble here can actually fit inside it if you take off the panels. Those panels wouldn't have been flared out when it was being stored in the cargo area of the shuttle. Anyhow, they actually get rolled up and then they deploy. That process is actually pretty impressive. They do the same thing for the space station. The panels are flexible and rollable. So there's some good videos of that process playing out. I think they just recently replaced one of the arrays or added an additional one. So those are worth checking out. Okay. Where are we here? As I talk, I almost can guarantee that something will probably go wrong at some point during this stream. Just because it's easy to get a little distracted. So from time to time, I might be super focused, but I won't forget about you, I promise. All right, now we flip. Now I want to be clear too on this, the idea behind this vodcast, especially because we haven't had a good live stream. Well, we did with Astrofest. We did at the tail end of that 12-hour stream we did. You'll find the live stream we did during that astronomy program. And let's see, okay, we add those caps at the bottom. You're welcome to go back and check that video out. But this is not a replacement by any means for those observing live streams. Those are still going to be a part of what we do here. This is in addition, if we do continue with this vodcast setup, it is in addition to those observing live streams. And again, the nice part is that we do not have to worry about clear skies. That's the one negative. We can easily schedule things this way. Bring on guests, other Kopernik members, and we just want to continue to work with our virtual audience as well as our in-person. And the cool part there is it's not mutually exclusive. We have in-person members that love to watch these programs as well, and it's just another way for us to interact with you all. So yeah, we're doing all right here. I think I'm getting the flow of chatting and building. Okie doke. Now, as far as big big time events in astronomy, big observing events that are happening. I think we have one more eclipse this year. I got to check the timing on that, though. One more lunar eclipse, but it is another one that's probably just out of our reach. That was the case with the lunar eclipse in the spring, just before the solar eclipse that we were able to catch. This is just a stack. It's just a stack of very similar items. Okay, we got that, and that goes on top, and then we do one more of these. Okay. But yeah, again, it's probably out of our reach, that lunar eclipse. But there's still meteor showers coming up. We missed the opportunity to do things like the Leonids last year, so I have a better winter setup for streaming now that we tested last winter, and it worked well. So I think I can comfortably stream the meteor showers that come up in the winter time. In theory, those ones are great because you have really nice, dry, clear skies. Last night up here, the sky was beautiful. We were doing an in-person public program, and we opened up our scopes afterwards. The moon was rising up later in the evening, so at the start, since it's getting dark so early now, we were able to do some darker sky observing, if only just looking out at the Milky Way. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, we did just share out the couple of images that I was able to get last night, one being of that Milky Way, and the other of the moon. But the cool part about those images is that they came from a smartphone. Did I miss something here? No, I didn't. Okay, we're good. It came from a smartphone, and my goal with that post there, if you check it out, is that I think the quote I put on there was the best camera. It is a quote. The name is slipping my mind. I apologize. But it's not something I came up with. It's just one I like to live by, and that is the best camera is the one that you have on with you. So that's all the more true now that smartphones are becoming very capable at astrophotography. So before, a smartphone could really only do so much, or a camera phone could only do so much. But now we are at the place where they are very capable devices for that sort of photography. And obviously they're not going to give you the best view, but I like to think about it like it opens up a whole new universe to people that just want to take pictures, but they've never been. I see when we have public coming up in the past, I always remember, they try and take a picture of the sky and just they don't get anything, and that's just because your cameras to that point were never designed for that kind of light capture. Your eye is very good at exposing to different intensities of light. And that's why we can pick up stars in the sky. But if you design a camera sensor to be really good at taking pictures with decent light available, and you want to minimize the amount of noise that comes in through the picture, then you run into challenges there. But now we're at the point where we can crank up the sensitivity without affecting noise levels too much, and also using artificial intelligence is what your smartphone, your processing uses to, let's see, that's what it uses to build out that photo in the end. And it's all happening in the background, which is also very impressive. Let's see, we got those two. We need to put on the cone on the front. That's what I'm missing. And also this little flat tab there. And this piece in the back. Okay. That looks pretty good. We're nearly there with the shuttle. I really like how it's coming along. It's so cool, these little mini kits. Okay. Got one flat piece here. Goes on top, and then you do the slanted, sort of building out the cockpit now. Ah, the fin. Yes. We have to have that. That completes the look, I think. And then we have, now we also have the model of the space shuttle behind me. That was donated to us by our local Lockheed Martin. And you should be able to see the engines off to the side there. And that's what we're going to build out right now. This shuttle does not have a name. It's just, the shuttles were all mostly identical. So we can just call this one Shuttle Discovery 2, and we'll compare it. We'll compare the two. And we can compare it to the big one. That one is 1/15 or 1/16 scale. So it's pretty big. You can go visit the shuttles. They are all around the United States at the Air and Space Museum. There's one at the Air Museum in New York City. And I'm forgetting one of the other places, but they are all over. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, go to check that out. Right, we're building this 3 times. We need 3 engines, so we got to build it 3 times. All right, and they just get hooked on. Oh, that's so cool. So simple, but super effective. There you go. There's your engine array in the back there. And your little shuttle. I think it's all done, right? I feel like I have more pieces than I should, but I can't see what I did wrong. Except for maybe one thing that you'll find. LEGO definitely gives you extra pieces, just in case. I've had ones that were warped in the past, and it helped to have an extra piece there. So, but even still, with bigger pieces like this, I get a little suspicious. So I just like to double check. Aha! Yep, we did miss one. With this other capsule, we missed this gray piece. Now keep that in mind when you're building, if you ever build a set like this, or any model kit for that matter. They probably will come with extra pieces, but if it's too big, that's not something that's going to be missed by the machinery that actually handles the parceling out of pieces. It's the small pieces that get lost in that. All right, well, that's the shuttle done. How do we do on time? That's not too bad. We'll probably get into a better flow shortly too. Turn down the brightness on my monitor here. Let me switch to the wide view again, so we can kind of compare on the big picture here. So here's Shuttle Discovery again with Hubble, and I think we could even take Hubble off here. Yep, there we go. Let's take Hubble off and close up. This is the Canada arm on the shuttle. Drop that down and close up the cargo bay. How's that? All right. Be very careful with Hubble. She's shown us so much out there in the universe. All right. So here is the little mini one. bigger scale Lego one, and then behind me is the 1/15th scale shuttle from Lockheed Martin. So not bad. I like this little kit. I'm especially impressed by the engines in the back. I can show you the engines on here. I mean, of course, these are more detailed, but that looks perfect. And the proportion, the proportions are all right, at least to my eye, in comparison. The wings are a little bit weird, but they had to account for like the black layer and the white layer, so you have your shuttle tiles underneath, right, to protect the space shuttle upon re-entry. And usually those are colored black, and then you have the white layer on top. So I understand that part, but it's not. It's pretty close. So we'll put the shuttle right next to the mini shuttle next to the big one. Let me check the chat here. See some good interactions. Yes, Pat. Yes, I gotta check my work. You always got to go back. If you have those extra big pieces, probably something went wrong. All right, I'm gonna keep my astronauts here to keep me company. Otherwise, I'm going to put the capsules off to one side as well. We'll put those next to the lunar lander that's in front of me. That also came with the Saturn V, of course. Another thing, oh, they have the little astronauts there too. These are a recurring thing to add a bit of scale to the spacecraft. All right, bag 2. Always keep your extra Lego pieces too. You never know when they'll come in handy. All right, again doing the knolling portion. Oh, this is so cool. There's a little plaque. The Shuttle Discovery there came with a plaque as well. I appreciate that. This one has a lot of like pieces, so I'm going to make sure those stick together. Again, this really does make the process a lot smoother, but it's up to you how you want to build, of course. Knolling is sort of a new thing for me. In the past, I would just like go on the hunt, which can be fun as well. You gotta go on the hunt through your pile of Lego pieces and see if you can find what you're looking for. So the stand is gonna be almost entirely black, which is usually the case. All right, we're doing good. Yeah, lots of like pieces in this one. Now, like I said, this does take on that same informal kind of vibe that we get out of the casual vibe we get out of the observing live streams, where it's a chance to talk to us. I'm continuing to monitor the chat here in case any questions come up. And I just like to use it as a platform for that. All right, squares here. Bunch of little pieces. Maybe we can have on some guests in the future, similar to what we do with our public programs, but again, taking on that informal aspect to it. I think it's good to have a mix of your formal and your casual experiences. And the other part about this is a strictly, potentially, you know, if it continues, strictly a live show. And I think that was the motivating factor for me in coming up with something like this, because I know we have some viewers that are in our area and can't access Kopernik but want to continue to participate with our community, and continue to, of course, going to the observing live streams, asking questions with our educators, and this is that platform. I think it will develop into something that will allow for that, and we won't have any hybridization there. It can be a little bit of a challenge to balance the live stream nature of our public programs and make sure we're accommodating to questions from the audience, and also the in-person. Of course, that has to be our focus on those public programs now that we are open back up. But we want other content out there too, to support our virtual audience. All right. That's good enough, and I have a decent workspace now. We will start constructing. This one has this guy at the very end. Okay. Now, I also mentioned that this stream is not just about building Lego. We also want to focus on, let's see, this here. The recent NASA news that they are restructuring. This is very relevant to the prior space programs, be it Shuttle, Apollo, the space station, because all that came before is involved in what's coming now. So all that NASA learned over those missions, especially as it relates to humans in space. That's the crucial factor as with the Space Shuttle and ISS. How do humans survive in space? How do we make sure they have the nutrients they need? Oh wait, this one goes on the front, yeah. And we have all these wonderful accommodations here on Earth. How can we add as many of those in space and make it a relatively comfortable experience? You have to make sacrifices. There's really no way around that at the moment. But in the future, that may become, we'll always continue to improve. Like the food, as an example, has dramatically improved over the years of what the astronauts are able to eat up there. Keep doing something wrong here. This goes on the front. Yes, like that. And this one goes right up next to the angled pieces. There we go. We got there. All right, and I always like to try and keep count too. Okay. Today's show will also take on a little bit of a drop-in, drop-out sort of thing. So, like I said, don't be, you can always come back and watch this later. It will be recorded on our channel. So if you missed something, or if you just want to see the final product, it'll be there. But again, I am here to chat with you while building this space station. Well, right now it's just a stand, but eventually, space station. So NASA has restructured around human space exploration. That is their primary focus over the next decade or longer. Okay, sorry about that. I am. There is, like I said, another event, and they're going to be setting up today. So I might be a little bit in and out as this program goes through. But I'll be here. I'll always come back until I say otherwise. All right, we were on 7. We're going to move on to 8. Okay. The stands are kind of fun to build too, because I mean this is going to be a big structure, a lot of potential for torsional strain. So the solar panels are going to want to pull one way or the other, and depending on how well you balance this thing, it's going to determine how stable it is on your shelf. So the stands are pretty cool because they do have to displace all that mass in a reasonable way. All right, good. Carry on. So again, going back to the NASA talk here, they're restructuring around human space exploration. That is their big focus, and it's not going to detract away from any of the really neat missions they have coming up. Perseverance and Curiosity are, of course, going to continue until they really can't. They're very well funded. James Webb Space Telescope is going up this year in December. Can't remember the date, but all the robotic missions and heavy exploration missions still happening. 2026, I think, is when they're launching that Titan mission. Getting there in 2034-ish. That one's still in the budget, and that one's going to be cool too because it'll be similar to Ingenuity on Mars, where it flies around. Except this is going to be a much more robust flight system. A bigger drone for navigating that thick atmosphere of Titan. That's the big difference between the two. The atmosphere of Titan is very thick in comparison to Mars, very thin. But Ingenuity's been doing great. They're using it as an actual, that's how they described it. They're using it as an actual rover, so to speak, a scout for Perseverance, which was sort of the idea, but they treated it more as an experiment than anything else as a part of the Perseverance mission. So now it's going to be a significant, let's see, put this, part of Perseverance's goals on Mars, which is amazing. It's always, those rovers are just the peak of engineering and science, and they always seem to end up over-engineering to the point that they they escape their original mission purpose. This is the same case for the twin Mars rovers, Spirit and Opportunity. They also developed into something far greater than originally intended and lasted on Mars for years and years versus the couple month long timeline the original mission had planned. It's great to see that continue to happen with the NASA missions. But despite those continuing, of course, they're restructuring to accommodate human space exploration beyond low Earth orbit, and really getting into that Artemis program, sending astronauts back to the moon as a transition to getting humans to Mars for the first time. Yeah, I suppose it is. I'm trying to do my best here. It's easy to get distracted. I read Pat's comment here about trying to build and talk about factual stuff, and I think I'm doing okay so far, but it's entirely likely that I'm going to get heavily distracted by the build here, especially as I get all the. I'm going to probably throw out a bunch of oohs and ahs with the ISS as I start building out its modules. We'll see how that goes. But or maybe, you know, I've built too many sets and I'm sort of on autopilot on that front, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or bad thing, but okay. So we got that there. This here. And I mean, I guess the byproduct of talking while you build is you do run into you definitely slow down in the build process because you know you can only do so much multitasking, but that's okay. I think it's still valuable. Did I ever transition to the? Yes, I did. Okay, I was checking to see if I transitioned to the tabletop cam, so you can actually see what was going on up close there. I'm missing something. No, I'm not. You always tell yourself that when you're building. 99.99% of the time, you are not missing something. They are very good about making sure you have everything you need. These are... Okay, so one of my favorite, I guess one of the more satisfying things about Lego building are the pins. This is one of my favorite pieces because it all when it all comes together, it works so well. Just to pin all the structure together, and there was a lot of that in the shuttle. We're doing all 4 of these with the pins. Okay, got 4 of those. This stand looks good there. Keep on heading through here. So there is a whole... Did that just go... Oh, yeah. It got stuck in my... the wrist part of my shirt there. So there's a whole live stream on the recent NASA developments that they put out. Very informative. I recommend you go back and you go and watch that on their channel, because it does put out a good sort of mission statement for why they're going about the restructure and how they're going to do it and where it's going to lead us. And it's going to continue to utilize the partnerships between the private space companies as well. So it won't just be NASA's spacecraft and developed in-house. It's also going to be SpaceX. At least that's actually, in fact, that's the primary partnership right now is SpaceX. And they mentioned they're going to work with them to develop commercial space stations, or a commercial space station, because as incredible as the space station is, it was never going to be up there forever. As unfortunate as that statement sounds, you know, there are certainly ways that you could, you know, get rid of old modules. Like the Russian modules right now, they're some of the oldest parts of the station. They are starting to have some serious wear and tear, which is not good. There's been a couple scares recently regarding those modules and others about some defects in the station. They're not. I shouldn't say defects. The station has been up there for so long. It's just wear and tear. Oh, I didn't put I never put these on. So these have to go facing out. Yeah. So the ISS, we're kind of heading into its sunsetting period. It's probably been up there longer than the time it has left, if that makes sense. Did I forget? I did. Let's see how easy it's going to be to get that off here. I forgot one piece at the bottom. One of the locking pins at the bottom for the pole structure. And I missed this too. This has to go the other way. Pop that in here. And get these other two on. This part can be a little tricky to line up multiple pins. Uh-oh. What's going on? There we go. Okay, and I got to do one more piece here. Like that, pointing up. All right, those get locked down at the bottom. Yep. Locked down at the bottom. Excellent, excellent. Two angled pieces. And 1, 2. These are interesting ones. It's like the size of a 4 stud. Nope, size of a 3 stud, but it just has 2 centered studs towards the middle there. Don't know if I'm too familiar with those. It's always fun to come across somewhat novel pieces. We gotta flip this around. Always make sure you look at the little, like, almost like looks like a gyroscope. You don't want to miss the flip. Okay. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. We got one vent piece. That's what I call these, at least. They look like vents to me. So, vent piece. 3 gray pieces. I also always appreciate when you have like sort of a 1-layer group of Lego pieces that are connected, 1 or 2 layer, and it feels very insecure. I love later on when you finally get to lock it all down, because then you know it's strong, it's good to go, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, we have a right angle piece, the locking mechanism for it. That goes facing out. And we have there's one little gap in the bottom. So they have you fill that in with just a 1 stud square piece. Neat. And we're mounting the plaque, the ISS plaque. So goes towards the top, yeah? I think so. Yes, that makes sense. So this piece allows it to rotate downwards, so it looks a little more aesthetically pleasing. It's really the only main purpose for that. But that's good attention to detail. Now, let's see, I gotta count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's the 6th one in, I think. Yeah, 6th one in goes the blue pin. Same thing on the other side. Ooh. And then finally, one of the two-sided pins right in the middle. It's such a long piece, I have to make sure I count things right. One blue pin, two blue pin. And then we add second identical piece. There we go. Okay, that was a good lock. And this is the Technic, I think they call the Lego pieces with the holes in them. Lego Technic. Pretty common in regular Lego sets nowadays, though. They're so versatile. You'll see them, lots of them in that. I'm sure the Saturn V had them. Look that there. There. All right. So what else about that restructure announcement? I mean, I found it incredibly encouraging just because for a while there, when it was first announced, it felt real, but it was just so sudden, and it wasn't a full restructure of NASA yet either. But now we're sort of, and that's understandable too, because you make that announcement that it's we're finally going back to the moon. It's going to take some time, of course, to actually make that happen. But now it's feeling a lot. I guess what's the word? Well, I said it feels a lot more real, and that they're really committed to the next wave of human space exploration. I think it is very wise to utilize the quick development happening in the commercial world of space travel. There's a lot of progress happening there, and to combine the technology there with the prowess of NASA that it has developed over the years, I think we are in for a really important and critical point in the next phase of human space exploration. Did I miss anything here? Nope. Got that. Missing a vent piece there. And a flat piece there. So again, this is just the stand. In fact, I probably could have skipped this, maybe, but we'll get to the ISS in just another few moments, I think. This has got to be almost done based on the pieces that we have on the table. And then we'll really be able to sort of talk about the different components. As I look through this one does not appear to have the little factoids that popped up. No, like the Space Shuttle, that was something really nice about that set, is that as you built it, you had different facts about the different structures. But that's okay. We can still talk about each module. Okay, we got 4 of those. That looks good. Okay. One piece there, one piece here. And lock this in here. Lock this in here. Oh, we're nearly done. You you flip it over, this is what's going to get pinned in. All right, so you got to make sure that the, what would you call them? Tubes. You got to make sure those are all aligned so you can fit this upper portion into the stand. Oops. Now, if you read the description of this video, you probably noticed that we are looking to give this series a name, because right now this video is just titled, at the tail end of it, it's just called Untitled Kopernik Vodcast. Because again, this will always be video oriented. Even if it's a discussion, I still like to have that video. So it's not a podcast, it's a vodcast. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Okay. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. We'll always have the video, and we're looking to name it, and we did come up with some names, but we're gonna put it to a vote. We're gonna have a poll for it, probably on Facebook, and you'll get the chance to maybe name this. Because we had so many good ideas from the staff that I can't executively choose one, I don't think. I think it needs to be a collaborative process, and the whole purpose of our facility is building a community. And I think it's important to, oh, that's not right. I did that wrong. To involve everyone in something that is going to be very community driven. All right. I only have 3 small pieces. I am pretty comfortable with the idea that I do not need any more than that. Or I'm not missing anything. I didn't forget anything. This feels, oh yeah, that's strong. That'll hold our space station well. All right, number 3. Got 2.5 hours, more or less. Now, the vodcast will probably, in general, average around an hour to 2 hours, depending on what the topic of choice is for that week. I would like this to become a weekly thing. That there. So, do a little bit of organization now. Yeah, it's going to be a weekly series if we see good reception from it. And we might be doing something like this where we're building or an activity. It's going to be a pretty versatile experience, or it'll just be a discussion with other Kopernik staff between us, or having a guest on, a Q&A session about a given topic. But either way, I really like, seeing faces, I suppose. Podcasts are awesome. That you probably shouldn't use video if it doesn't make sense and you don't need to. But I personally like to always utilize that format when I can. So more often than not, this will always be video form. And I would always mention in the description if it's something that you could maybe listen to in the car or something like that. You can do a download of it and listen to it that way. But otherwise, I want to stay video focused. There's a lot to look at Kopernik. And again, if you're just joining, just tuning in, I like to organize my sets. Do what's called knolling. I'm not exactly sure where that word came from, but that's how I know it, is with model building. You organize all the pieces that you have in a kit or in something that you put together to build. Try and do like colors. That's one. That one's a little bit different, but we can. Yeah, we'll include it next to those ones. I'll just have to be careful not to use it. And also like pieces is the other thing. If you don't have a lot of like pieces, this one definitely does here. But if you don't have that, then you just want to do your best to organize by size. Just keep things nice and clean as you go through this process. Oh, there's a lot going on in this one. Oh, these smooth, squarish pieces, they actually are 2 level, but they're smooth and a little bit rounded. Those were super common for Hubble. Those are all over the place because you can see how wonderfully like cylindrical this set was. I love seeing rounded, like the Saturn V's that way too, a nice cylinder. I love seeing rounded pieces. Makes it very aesthetically pleasing. Because usually when you think Lego, you think blocks. But here we're working with a variety of pieces, so we'll get some cool shapes out of this, I think. And a pretty massive set. It's not a lot of pieces, but it's big because, you know, the array on the ISS is massive. So it's sort of a neat set in that regard because while it's not a ton of pieces, you do get a nice big display out of it. We do have a display case up here. The Saturn V is always up here. If you are local, I may consider putting the ISS and the shuttle in the display case, our display case up here for a while. I think that that would be neat to see the final products in person if you're local. But again, I'll probably do a quicker video after this one that, you know, people, if you don't want to watch the whole build process, we'll do a little time lapse and then I'll talk about the final product. All right. I'll leave that pile there. We'll get started building now. That's distinct enough that I don't have a problem with what's there. Let me go get my water bottle because I'm realizing I'm clearing my throat a lot. Okay. All right, you can already tell we're going to have an interesting build here. Now I am bringing up, because I have not memorized every component of the shuttle, I am bringing up a little guide. This might, where is it? One of these might be a Soyuz, actually. One of the Soyuz cargo or even maybe crew. One of the tiny capsules we built earlier. All right. I think I have a good diagram to go off of so we can chat about what we're looking at. Okay, let's continue. We have longer ones here. That's going to go there. Oh, they just get stacked right on top of it. Oh, but there's 2 end bits. One on the end. Always good to put those in first. Keep track. Okay. Oh, wait, I messed something up. The nice part is we can just flip it around. It's all symmetrical to this point. Until we add in the gray pieces, then things are at least off by color. I was just doing the wrong side. Okay, 2, 2, and 2. Got the count right there. Now this one also requires 2 long ones. We're going to do the, oh, this is an interesting ball joint acceptor, I guess you'd call it. That's a cool one. That one gets locked down here, and then we got a bunch. This is going to be a, looks like definitely a mobile piece. We might be building the core of the station. Yeah, that's what it looks like. These look to me to be the structural modules. Yeah, because they're going to take on the solar panels. So yeah, this is like, if you know the modules of the station, this is like P1, P3, P4, S0, S1, S3. All the main structures that line right up with the solar panels. So it's, you know, you can kind of think a bit about it like the load-bearing section of the station. All right, so we just go down the line here, sort of alternate between different pieces. There's a gold. Oh no, no, it's that one. Never mind. Okay. Okay, that was a fun. I like things like that where you're alternating between different pieces as you build down the line. This one, three of these. We got 3 of those, and we got 2 of the gray pieces. Yep, 2 of the gray, 2 of the white. Okay, gray on one side. These. Nice symmetric build though. Basically mirroring on each side. And one white piece goes in between everything. Cool. So again, we're currently building the main structure of our space station. Main load-bearing area. Okay, I got 2, 4, 1, and 3. I wish I knew the name of every piece, but I am not that well versed. Now, in truth, all these pieces have number assignments, but the best you can do is like describe, if you don't know exactly the unofficial or official name, you just sort of say, oh yeah, this is the roundy 2-stud piece. Make up your own. That's my thoughts on it, at least. Gotta get creative. Even though I'm just following an instruction. I personally never was super great at coming up with my own designs. I enjoyed doing it, but I never got anything to look as good, or even, I would say even really close to as good as a regular set would. But definitely some of my friends were pretty great at this stuff. It's like I think they even make that point in this sort of model building is for everyone. Whether you're creating something yourself or building from a kit, it's all information. It's all educational, rather. No matter which way you go about it. I've got 3 of these. I see. So this one's going to get an angled piece. You do learn a lot because every kit's a little different. You learn some engineering methods, at least for mechanical builds. Oh, there's 12. Oh, this is where we're bringing in these pieces. Okay. Oh, I gotta make sure I line this all up right. Okay, so we do 2. Make sure we're alternating correctly. 2, 2. 1. That's interesting. At the other side, it's not the same. It's a little different. The other 2 big pieces go on the other end. Oh, hey, Mike. welcome to the stream. Yeah, I like to keep organized when putting this stuff together as best I can. In truth, I guess usually when I do something like this, I'd have more table space, but I also wanted props around. So I'm working with what I have, but yeah, it's good to be, like you say, be methodical about it. All right, 2 of those. Where's the? Oh, it's 2 gold. This one keeps tricking me. It almost looks orange to my eye on the print, but it's a gold color. And the 2 gold go to one side, and then we lock everything up with these gray pieces here, which is great. Again, I said earlier in the stream, it's awesome to see it all locked together. Because, I mean, at this point, this is an incredibly sturdy piece. The only weak point right now is down towards the bottom. When I bend it, you can see the pieces pry apart a little, but it's being held together well enough by everything else. It would take quite a bit of force to actually get anything to really shift. So this is a nice sturdy piece at this point. Okay, carrying on through. We got 8 pieces. We're going to use these 8 right angle pieces here, 2 of these brownish gold, and we need 8 of these angled. All right, and we're building two things. Oh, we need the 2 orange too. Okay. Carrying on with the NASA discussion. Again, if you're just tuning in, we were chatting about how NASA's restructuring now around human space exploration, but also ensuring there is plenty of funding for the robotic missions and exploration missions, because of course humans just aren't going to ever be able to go out and visit in the near future to places like Titan. So that's why we're going to send a robot there, a nice drone robot. And there's one. Focus now is really getting astronauts back to the moon and eventually set up a more permanent base there. One of the big things they were chatting about was, oh, did I not? No, there's only go on the bottom. Water on, the ice water on the moon and how that can be utilized as fuel. You can lift off potentially from the moon almost as a way station to get to Mars. There's so many possibilities for that Mars journey. They're looking into everything. So if we have a permanent base on the moon, it's entirely possible to just use that as a jumping point to other worlds. Also, there's a mission to Venus, too, that's in the works. Not for humans, but for robots, to explore our sort of almost like an evil twin planet with its runaway greenhouse effect, very hostile environment. But there's a lot we don't know about Venus just because it is a engineering challenge to get even robots safely there and survive. When you land on the surface of Venus, components can actually melt because its surface is, and its atmosphere too, is so hot. So that will be some really cool engineering challenges there that they have to solve to ensure probes can make it to the surface safely and continue to survive there for a longer period of time. There is some really neat imagery out there, though, of Venus that you can look up from the previous missions they have sent there. They were able to send pictures back. I should really count out these pieces here. We got 2. We're going to use these white ones down here, and we need these gray right angle pieces. Okay. These ones are going to go down. So it's going to be, again, a mix of humans and robots exploring. Only 4. And I think like I said, we're in for an extraordinary time in aerospace. And a huge collaboration between different nations and in the commercial space as well with SpaceX and I think Blue Origin, is that the name? But right now the primary partner is SpaceX for human missions. This piece does not want to lock in. It's kind of awkward, I guess. Come on. There we go. Just had to get it right on top of the stud. Okay. Great. Making progress. And we need 2 of these. And that's it. Did I forget? I did. Nope. No, I didn't. Those are locked in. Okay. We're good. Carry on. Flip over. And we're getting the 2 long. No, that's right. I'm second guessing myself. Sorry, sort of blankly staring at this, but I was just double checking to see if I missed something, but I did not. Again, you sort of find out at the end, if you have a bunch of big pieces, then you probably missed something along the way. That's sort of your double check, and why I really appreciate LEGO now does bags with numbers. So you could, before moving on to the next thing, you can double check everything. These are nice like ingot pieces we're putting on now. And this one goes here. Goes in the middle. Yep, like that. Goes there. Four of these. And the remainder of these angled pieces, I think, is what we're working with now. Okay. So, as we carry on through the programs, and if we do launch an official version of this series, not this is our episode 0, a prototype, then it will be more focused, and it will be more condensed, is my plan. Because I don't want it to be so informal that there's not a direction. Today's a test of the technology and our capacity to run something like this. All right, that's good. And also sort of a platform to announce that we are interested in doing something like a podcast or vodcast and making that our virtual platform. Not replacing the observing live streams by any means. Those are still on that side. Oh, they're going down below, I see. Yeah, we're not replacing the observing live streams with this. This just gives us a place to send programs and topics that we enjoy or want to share with you. Let's see, put this on here. Okay, we're losing track. Gotta make sure I'm counting this right. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. We can lock these sections in. So yeah, like if we have a guest that, or a some of our other Kopernik educators, or even, we have our internship program here too. And I know many of them are interested in astrophotography and discussing that more. So there may be a possibility of running some shows there too. Oh, that's done. Only 2 extra pieces. All right, good work. Okay, let's see how strong this is. That is not coming apart easily. This is probably what's going to get mounted to the main stand structure. That's what it looks like to me. So that would make sense. That adds up that this is the load-bearing structure for us, and it's also the load-bearing structure of the actual craft that's in orbit right now. All right, number 4. How many bags do we have? It goes up to 6. Gonna do a little organizing now. Oh, we gotta be careful. There is similar pieces in here. I know this piece. This is for this is the same style piece they use for R2, I think. If you built a Star Wars Lego set at any point in time, it's pretty much been the same, I think, over the years. That's what it looks like. But there's a lot of cylindrical pieces that are very similar, so I'm going to make sure I keep those organized. And again, if anyone has any questions, if they've seen something in the news about space exploration that they were curious about, or if you just want to comment on anything, you know, feel free to put those in the chat. I am monitoring it on my phone next to me. That is partially what this series would be about too, is interacting with the chat. I'm looking into some alternatives as well to YouTube chat. Maybe setting up a Discord for our live stream programs to get more curated chats, because there are occasions when, you know, we get quite a few viewers and the topics get off track a little in the questions and whatnot. So to weed through some of that, I think it would be beneficial for us to search out some other alternatives. There is ways that we can sort of moderate the chat as well, so that could be if we focus more on that side of it, just have someone moderating off to the side. That could be the solution as well. We shall see. We're always looking to improve the community side of things. Hoping to put together a time lapse for this eventually. I'm recording it on the laptop right now, so stay tuned for that. At the very least, I'll put out a video of the final build. We'll look at it at the end of the stream here too, so if you have the time and want to stick around for that, it'll be here. Assuming I can get it done in time before 4. We have about 2 hours. We've been moving pretty steadily. There's only 6 bags in total, so I'm pretty optimistic that we will get it done, but again, we shall see. We have some solar panels in this build. These blue pieces are the solar arrays that we're going to put in. Now, with the Hubble set, we were talking about Hubble's right here. By the if you look in the wide camera, or even underneath, there you go. This is the Hubble set that came with Shuttle Discovery. That's off to the left-hand side of me. It has a really cool, flexible panels, and that's true for how Hubble deploys its panels. I think it's also true for the space station. And they even give you can attach this gold piece to make it appear like it's been rolled up if you want to detach the deployed panels. These ones aren't the same material that they chose for the Hubble. These are rigid pieces. They're pretty flat, but they're rigid. Makes sense though. Like the solar panels that go on the shuttle here are going to be massive compared to what was on Hubble there, which is just 2 panels on each side. So I think it makes sense how they did it there. Okay, keep on knolling, as they say. Knolling is, I guess, jargon for organizing Lego pieces. So again, I like to try and do like pieces, try and separate between colors. It all works out. Lots of tiny pieces in this build though. And eventually I just sort of I'm comfortable enough with where I am. I've organize the pieces well enough. Oh, this piece, I'm fairly certain, if I hold it up way close to the camera, fairly certain that's the cupola. And the cupola is the viewport, the largest viewport of the ISS, where astronauts go to take pictures, get views of the Earth, look out to the Canada arm, operate that. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty well rendered cupola. Okie dokie. You know, I am pretty comfortable. If I null too much more, I'm not going to have a lot of space, so I'm pretty comfortable with having those small pieces over here. Let's just finish with these bigger gray pieces. There's quite a few of those. All right, let's get building. So we continue with our, our P1, P3, S0 modules, the main structure of the station. And we're just going to attach these little, I don't know what you'd call them, little antennae. I'm going to put them straight down to start, and then I'll angle them how they have them in the picture. Looks like maybe like a 20-degree turn, and then a much sharper for the outer side. Something like that. That looks good. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, then we take this piece, and the hole is facing out towards me. Okay, that looks good. Now this, to me, looks like we're building out the living quarters, the actual space. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Yeah, because Zarya and Zvezda, they're all going to go in, so that's how it'll be set up. You can see sort of in the picture there, but Zarya and Zvezda, the Russian modules, are going to go in the back, and then the forward modules, Node 3, Destiny, Node 2, Columbus, Japanese module, those are all going to go towards the front here. So this is the structure. This is not, astronauts do not move through this portion. We're going to start building the actual habitat of the ISS. Okay? This is going to be pretty neat when it's all finished. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty big set too, just because that the solar panel portion is pretty substantial. All right, what is that little piece? It looks like a bottle cap almost. Very tiny. It is a bottle cap. It's effective for like a little, like greebly, you'd call them in model making. A little greebly that you'd throw on just to make it look like something. And they were very creative here in showing like a mechanical, maybe a entry port of some kind. This little flat piece that we're going to put on is literally just a bottle cap, though, like a bottle cap top. Sorry, am I saying bottle cap? It's not a bottle cap. It's a can opener on like a soda can. That's pretty clever. All right, so yeah, like I said, this is a very clever piece. This little soda can cap, it looks like. All right, we need to build 2 of these though. Where is the other one? Yeah, see, I should have organized this part right here. I think we only need those 2 though. And then we need 1 more hinge piece. There we go. All right, we're making more progress. Those go facing down. That's got the cap on top. Again, we're building the habitat modules right now. Rotate. We need the yellow axle. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Yellow axle. And like that. Missing something. Yes, wait. So, again, we're currently constructing the nodes and probably, well, are we doing Zarya right now? No, this looks like one of the nodes. Zarya is a part of this bag, though, because we have the solar panels, and Zarya has solar panels attached to it. So, we will see that eventually. Again, if you are just tuning in, this current show is just a little pilot, so to speak, for a potential vodcast series that we could put together to keep active on YouTube. So we have our in-person programs and we have separate virtual programs that are more focused and give us the opportunity to really chat with people on here. Not that we won't stream the public programs, but we can frame up shots better when we just keep things, we don't have to worry about also sharing things in person versus virtual. It becomes a little less confusing this way. And it's also different content on top of it all. So even if you come up to a public program and watch the show and observe and whatnot, this will be something different for you to check out. Okay, that's looking good. They will also be curated a little more than today. Today is just a test of technology and also having fun with Lego, because, of course. And then next time, if we boot this up and we get an episode 1 and maybe get a guest, have a good discussion, that will be more curated. It'll be shorter. This is probably going to be a multi-hour stream. I'm just thinking of doing of keeping main episodes to just an hour or 2 at most. And it does not replace observing live streams either, which is good. I'm going to keep those going. Those are nice too because you can see what a camera's seeing, because most of the time cameras can see a lot better than your eye, especially at deep sky stuff. So all those dim objects that are out there. All right, we need what looks like a payload area. The top for it. There it is. This actually does look like a unique piece for this set. That gets locked down like that. Okay. All right, cool. This is good. This is working. Going back to the NASA discussion, what's fascinating about this new restructure is that, it's entirely possible within the next decade we'll have humans on Mars. The technology's there to get it done. And, if that pans out, I think, of course, there's a lot of just STEM education potential there, but just like the moon landings, it inspires a whole generation. And if, the moon landings inspired NASA, or rather inspired people to go and work for NASA and build the rovers and the space stations, shuttles, all that, it's incredible to think what the Mars mission could do. Because that would be a feat of engineering. And of course, all that technology does spin off to help people at home. Solar panel technology, as an example, was in part funded and developed into very useful and sustainable technology because of the space program. They needed that kind of energy production. You can't run a gas engine up in orbit, so solar panels became the solution for at least things closer to the sun. Now, when you deal with other, heavier robots like Curiosity or Perseverance, they did need to switch to a nuclear fuel just because solar panels just wouldn't cut it. It's like, on Earth, for example, we can't, right now, it'd be very challenging to build a fully solar-powered vehicle in the traditional form. You could do it with a lighter vehicle, certainly, but, the vehicles that we have on the road today, very challenging to make it fully solar operated. So that's why they had to switch to a plutonium power source in the rovers. I think the craft that's going to Titan is also going to be plutonium powered. It has to be, because that atmosphere on Titan is so thick that sunlight is going to be a big problem. And if it's a bigger craft than Ingenuity, it has to have a stronger power source. That must be it. The advantage there too is the plutonium power source is really good and can be, the heat from it can be used for keeping spacecraft warm. That looks good. Okay. Can't lose track here. All right. What did I miss here? That gets a pin? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, it goes facing up. Oh, this is the wrong. I didn't attach something. That's what I missed. So this needs to get plugged in somewhere. This is facing like that. Yellow pin facing out. This gets locked in like so. All right. Again, we're putting these habitat modules together. Gets a little chaotic. Again, same thing. That gets locked in up and down, vertical, like so. And then we finally attach these nodes somewhere. Oh, I see. Locks in here. There we go. All settled. Look at that. Our ISS is coming along. Okay. It was vertical. Are we on the other side? Yes, we are. So it gets locked in like so. Oh geez, this is very, this part is very tricky, but I think we're just about to fix that. I think it's about to be locked in. Yep. Now it's not going to move on us at all. Ah, yep, we're going to put this right on the stand now. We're going to maybe build off that. That's what it looks like. How does this get locked in? Oh, it's facing the wrong way. There we go. There we go. All right. We're building. Move on to the next step. One. There is something very therapeutic about building Lego, I think. Can be a pretty relaxing experience. All right. I love the, so I've said the word greeblies again. So if you know model making, you may have heard that term. Greeblies are used as little details that you put on your model. It was used, I think I've heard the term used with in sci-fi mostly. Because it's kind of designed to like, oh, I want to make this look like it's doing something, you know? So it's gotta look like it serves a function. You don't even have to know what that function is. It just has to look like it's doing something. It's there for a purpose. And that's what we're kind of seeing. We're kind of seeing here to some capacity, except you're trying to model something with pretty basic parts. So with the ISS, we know what each part does, but we have to use simpler pieces to actually try and produce something from that. And I'm always impressed with what people come up with on that front. Because in the end, the effect works. Not all the time. I guess there's occasions where it's supposed to look like something and you just really don't see it. It also depends on the person. All right. So again, getting into what we talked about last week, or not last week, getting into what we talked about today, if you weren't here for the first part of the show, this show is just a prototype of what's to come. If we really boot it up and kick it off, it'll be 1 to 2 hour video podcasts. If you know a podcast, and this is just going to be podcast with video. And it's another show that we can schedule. Week to week, we'll have a more strict schedule on it potentially. We can, at the very least, warn you ahead of time if we've changed days or what have you, and what the program will be on, weeks in advance. We can put together a program schedule for it, which contrasts to our ability with the observing live streams. Those we just cannot really schedule because we are at the mercy of the skies, which we've had good luck on Friday nights lately for our in-person events, but you just never know. You never know. If we schedule it, we might have to cancel it, and then it's just a sort of a process of scheduling, canceling until you get a hit. Which maybe that's fine, but I would prefer to have tell people as early as we can that it's going to be clear skies and when there's a good chance of viewing. Let's see, did I build this right? This is going to get hooked on here. I see. Yeah, so we warn you as early as we can for the observing live streams, and then we have this other program that is going to be more curated and scheduled. But today is just a proof of concept, just to see if something. Oop! I almost broke that piece. To see if it's something our audience is interested in, and if we would like to continue forward with it. These are really nice pieces. The antenna, the radio dishes, those are cool. Very simple, but effective. All right. That looks good. Really excited to build those Zarya modules, though. It should be coming up soon if it's not this part right here. I believe those Russian modules are the ones that are having a bit of trouble because they are among the oldest parts of the station, so the wear and tear on them is pretty severe. And with the space station, you could potentially replace everything but you know, replace it one by one. You know, maybe attach a module, let it burn up, something like that, and then replace it. But it seems like the way forward is going to piece together a new station with commercial help and international help. And I think that's a totally viable way forward. And it will be an incredibly sobering and saddening moment when we do have to say goodbye to the space station, because it has been up there with humans for 20 years. And it'll be a new phase in space exploration when we have to transition to something new. But it's the movement, the progress of that technology. And also just the fact about space too. You know, you can't. There's just going to be natural wear and tear with sending something up there that eventually becomes unsustainable to maintain, and you gotta move on to a different craft. But the other cool side of this is that there could be, you know, potential more permanent living spaces on the moon, something longer term than just a lander. That's what we could see eventually is, you know, we use the moon as a station, as a way station off to other worlds. And I think that would be incredible to see. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. We're doing something a little different here and sort of prototyping an idea about a podcast. Or a vodcast, really. This is interesting. We're sort of making a globe here. So we do one piece there, and then we attach the other one. Okay. Oh, there we go. Ah, we're putting in the cupola. There's the cupola, the main viewport of the ISS. There we go. Sorry, a little bit off on the camera there. So that's where you can take pictures, take a look out towards the Earth. They're really nice big windows. Oh, I need a cap on this. There we go. When we did a VR, a virtual reality tour of the ISS. And we were able to go ahead and look at the cupola during that. How does this go in? Did I miss something? Those two, but then this gets, where does this get attached? Something doesn't look quite right here. Yeah, backtrack a little and see what I missed, because something looks off. Is it just like a rotational issue? No. Something I did when I attached that set of modules. I did it, okay. I flipped it around the wrong way. This also should be facing this way. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now we're the right way facing on the other side of the modules. Well, let's go back here and see how we attach this new one I just built, because that is less clear to me. We built that. That looks good. Oh, I see. It locks on like this. Okay, that makes sense. Right onto the side there. All right. A couple of refinements we made, but we got it to work. Ah, now we're building... Is this Zarya? This might be Zarya that we're building now. It's either Zarya or Zvezda. I think it's Zarya because Zarya is first in the line of nodes. Attach some solar panels. Or maybe we're going to build this module from... No. No, I think this is Zarya. Okay, that looks good. Let me get the red, small red axle. Get one of these. One of those. Yep. Huh. No, maybe this is I'm trying to figure out what piece this is. Maybe I'll be able to tell when I get it all put together. The MLM, or maybe it's a Soyuz? Again, I do not have the ISS perfectly memorized, but so some parts I might not be able to. Oh, that's all right. We'll pick it up for a sec and drop it back down. Okay. When it's all put together, I might have a better idea about which one is which, and I can point those out. And I'll have a short video later on this week that's on our channel that goes through it all. Excuse me. Hour and a half left before I have to move on to the in-person activities today here at Kopernik. But I think we can do it. I think. It's an interesting stack we're building here. Oh, I see. It pins into the top. Okay. This one gets 2 panels as well. Haven't gotten to the large panels yet. Where'd my other astronaut go? Oh, he's hiding under the... I have these little astronauts here. All right, that one gets locked in like this. Oh, it goes the other way, though. I mean, I guess I could just put the panels on the other way. We'll flip it around. It's a little bit hard to get off the axle. There we go. Making sure it's locked onto the base so it doesn't shift on me too much. Okay. Whoa. Almost lost the whole thing. Okay. That's interesting. Oh. This is a long bag. I think 6 might be the longest, so hopefully we'll get through 5 reasonably fast. Lock that there. Lock that there. Then we add this one. Similar structure we're building here to that stacked piece as before. I should make sure you can see this. I'm kind of bringing it too close away from the camera. The sheer amount of Lego pieces that you could have at your disposal when trying to design something like this, I think is what would overwhelm me personally. Like there's just so much, like so many choices. Like trying to find the perfect one, I'd get hung up on it so much. Trying to figure out, okay, is this the best one? Is there a better solution? So you gotta be prepared to make some executive decisions there to really narrow down what you want to use. All right, got that done. This must be Zvezda then. See if I have a better picture, maybe. Well, we're definitely building the Russian module section. I'm just trying to find a good idea. I can't remember the order these go in. Well, let's finish up this last one. I think this is Zvezda. Zvezda, maybe this one down here is the MLM. This one's Zarya. And this one might be the mini research module. That's what it's looking like to me, at least. Well, we definitely missed out on a piece somewhere in here. Oh, there's here. I almost lost 2 solar panels as well. I need to find, like, this looks all, well, we still have a little bit more to build there, but I'm looking for this last gray piece. Something in there, it looks like. We have the spacer. Does this go in any further? No, that it has a, this should be pretty even. Spacer, module. Spacer, spacer. What went on before that one? Maybe it's not locked in all the way there? This red axle just seems to be sticking further out than it should. But I really don't see anywhere I've missed along the way. But it looks like it's supposed to sit right up flush against that. Let's try putting this in one more time. Oh, that's as far as it goes in. Huh. Nice thing is you can just slide these up where necessary. Ah, that's what it was. The pin wasn't in far enough. Yep. That did it. Problem solving, right? There we go. Perfect. Well, you gotta put it on the other way, actually. Now it's perfect. Okay. Last part. Then we move on to the next one. Ah. Okay. That tops it off. Great. Nice solar array there. Okay. I still have this larger one is concerning me slightly. Let's go back and see if I missed a dark gray piece somewhere. Very quick. Nope, that one has it. This one with the cupola. Uh-huh. Yep. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. The cupola module. It's missing this dark gray piece. Yep. Not that it's super important, but you know, it's there, so why not try and figure out where it's supposed to go. Those ones look fairly reasonable to me. I'm a little suspicious I missed something amongst those, but we'll carry on because it looks right to me at a glance. All right, stay with me, little astronauts. Or my little scale model astronauts here, if you haven't seen them yet, are super tiny. Bag 5. seems a little more manageable, maybe bigger pieces in here. We got just over an hour to see if we can complete this. I can go a little bit past 4, but I don't want to go too over. Looks like we're going to start building out the what do they call that? You have your truss sections, your P1, P3 trusses, P5, P4. It looks like we're going to continue building those out. Oh, and our radiators too. Our radiators are going to go in there. Do our best to parcel these pieces out in the process we call knolling. That's a fun one, huh? If you watched our Space Shuttle time-lapse video, you probably saw this process play out a little bit, where I organized the pieces and then started building, and it really does help keep things organized. A couple more here I need to organize. Some miscellaneous white pieces in here too. I'll try and keep track of. All right, little pieces I can mostly worry about later. Where's this one go? Oh, that's a separate color. Okay. All right, let's get going. Next build, we're gonna do 2 of these on both. Yeah, get your structure. Oh, this is the radiator. Yep, these are the radiators. That's a clever way to show it. They have sort of a zigzag look to them on the actual space station, and they're using these little roof-style pieces, almost like shingling. That's very clever. This one? Yes. All right, flip it back over, and we have that guy and this one to top it all off. All right, we're going to do 2 of those. This bag might be the repetitive bag. I do see a lot of similar pieces here, which is fine. It's a good change of pace. Have something where you're kind of repeating the same build. Oh, I forgot the 2 top ones. Oh, something's wrong here. There we go. And flip back over, and we get this piece. Yes. This is how it's going to attach, is this pin piece. Okay. And now we are going to attach this to, these are the radiators for the ISS, so we're going to attach them, I assume we're going to attach them. Yep. We're going to plug them right into the pins over here. These are heat dissipators. There we go. Okay, got these little antenna pieces now. Why am I blanking? Drawing a blank here. Where is that white piece I need? I'm not seeing it. It is right here. So we attach this here. Oh no, we don't attach that. Where is this one going? Oh, I see it now. This one's going to go right up top here. And then we are going to put this antenna. That's not my favorite. So these are very well hidden in the imagery. They're two very tiny pieces that blend right in almost with the colors at work there. So a little bit of greebly work that they had us do. But that's okay. Heading towards the final hour of the stream. Like I said, I'm going to stream this till 4. I do have to cut it off at 4 because I have a in-person program tonight at Kopernik. But I think we'll finish it. I'm pretty confident we're going to complete this by then. So we'll do our best on that. If you're just tuning in around me, you can see the other Lego sets, space themed sets that we have. Model Saturn V and a model Space Shuttle Discovery. Okay, that one's going to go right up here. Wait a second. Did I get the wrong? Oh, this is that gray piece, the light gray, not the dark gray. Very similar piece, except on one the studs are inverted downwards, so I needed the one that has the regular bottom to it. Okay, good. Okay, that locks in. These are very interesting little antenna pieces. They almost look like I don't know exactly their in-universe name, but it's like the blasters that are on the side of an X-wing. These little gold pieces look very similar to that structure. Sort of cool. All right, that one's going to get locked in up here. And that's it. Adding some decorations. I'm sure it's pretty accurate, but just some added effects on the top of our structural modules. All right, we got 3 of these, and we need this flat piece here, or nearly flat piece. This is interesting. These ones alternate, switch there from horizontal to vertical, and then this one goes horizontal, at least from my perspective. Although you should be seeing mostly my perspective on the main camera at the moment. All right. We're really doing some tiny work for the moment, it seems. Nothing too crazy. That one goes in. Did I mess that up? I did. I switched these two. I see why they did that. Okay, this one goes up like that, and then we get a white bar here between these two clamp pieces. Okay, can I carry on? And we have one more of these. All right. Looks like we're in that final hour now. Before we have to end the show for today. That looks right. Oh, that's a weird spot for this one to go. I have to get it to go underneath on top of that gold piece. You probably can't see it, but it went underneath. Okay. That one goes, oh, that one's a tough one. Does it go right under? Yep, like that. Okay. Things are getting a little complex. Now we rotate this. This one's going to go down on this side. How did I... No, wait. I did mess that up. flipped around. There we go. And now that one goes down here. Like so. Is this the arm? This looks like this might be the Canada arm. I think that's what we're building now. Let's see where it ends up. I didn't know that they were going to include that. That's pretty cool if it's in there. Yeah, I think that's the Canada arm. How about that? Goes there, and we got this one. Couple of brackets. Oh wait, we need two of those. Yep. Two of these things. I guess we might have to continue building through. Yeah, okay, it's not done yet. So there, one of these big layers on top. Why do I feel like I missed something? I didn't. I think I'm okay. Yeah, we're good. Oh wait, we're not doing anything with that yet. Well, I guess that's... do one more of those. And that locks in back here. All right. Oh, geez, we got to do 2 of those. All right, we'll flip back. Well, we talked about some, yeah, those ball joints on the 2 sides of the structural modules. I think that's where that's going to end up. Oh. All right, so let's carry on here where we left off with flat pieces we were putting on here. I think I got all those. Oh, one more. And then flip it over. That one there. These 2 here. All right, we're almost done with this bag, I think. We're in the final stretch. There we go. Took a minute for that to snap in. Okay, that locks in there. And, oh, that's the wrong way. Wrong orientation. Something like this. There we go. Same two. We're good to go. Those lock in on both sides. Very tricky to get it into the ball joint mechanism though. Oh, okay. Maybe not as tough as I thought. I just wasn't lined up right. There we go. Okay. Looks good. It's almost becoming too big for our camera view. Not done yet with this bag. A couple more things. Looks like we can rotate those around. Bunch of these clamp pieces gonna go down there, facing vertical. Okay, and lastly, these might be part of the radiator system as well. And that's it for that bag. That one felt a lot better as far as the extra pieces went. The one before that, I feel like I missed something, but it looks fine. So, bend down now is for the solar panels. Really, that's where we're at. And that's once we got that in, we are pretty much done. Got about 40 minutes. I'm gonna power through this one. You know what, I'm not going to even null this one out. I'm just going to do my best to get it all done. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Wait, that one goes there. And this goes, I see. That's what I'm making. That's where my mistake is made. Yeah, I guess that is it. One of these two. One of these. On either side. How many of these are we making? 8. All right. I'm going to know this one really well. This is the repetitive bag. Hopefully it doesn't look too difficult. So it should be relatively easy to memorize, but we will see. Oh, that's wrong. Everything has to be in a line. Like that. And then 2 on the other side. And 2, 3, 4. We do 2 clamp solar panels. Oh no. Oh, we're doing this twice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the clamp. And those get mounted. Very nice. Feels a little wibbly, but it's working. Oh, I see. That's clever. All right. Then you clamp on 2 other panels to this section, and you lock them down onto the orange piece. Cool. Yeah, that works. And then you can adjust them accordingly if they're not perfectly in line. All right. Got to do that 8 times. I think if I'll look at the instructions one more time, but after that, I think I'll have it down pat. Okay, let me do one of these, and one of these. Yep, that's adding up. Makes sense. Pretty basic structure. And then we do the, you know what? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make a bunch of these right now. Do all the orange ones that I need. So we're going to need a lot of them, so might as well just get them all done in one fell swoop. Uh-oh. I've already made a mistake, though. Here's where the brick tool comes in handy. I don't want to keep making that error, though, because that's annoying to get all 4 of those off. Apologies for the very repetitive step right now. Because this is live, I can't just cut away. All right. Now those get hooked on here. We're in the final stretch. For sure. Oh, I did it wrong. You gotta put this on the... You gotta clamp this on first and then drop them down onto the orange block. Lock it all down. There we go. All right, next one. Again, I think I'm just gonna copy right from here. So we start with this and this. Add the gray bit. Add this top bit and these two. Yep, there we go. Lock this down here. Yellow axle. Cross. Oh, 2 pieces there. And then the panels. Okay, that looks right. We're just mass producing these things at this point. Okay, we're moving along. It's working out. I forgot something. I feel like I'm getting caught up on the steps here. Okay, I remember. All right, we are really close to the finish line. We've got 2 more of these to build, and then we're done. 'Cause I don't see any more pieces, really. I think that's it after this. Axle. Yep. Yellow axle. across, poles, and panels. Okay. All right, that tops off the solar panel build, and we don't have any more pieces left. So it's just a matter of putting this on. So these get attached. I see. If we rotate this like so, these are gonna get attached at these zones here. Looks like, yeah, like that. On all the sides we can. Oh, look at that. It's, yep, the panels, just like the actual station, this is what's doing it. This is what makes it look like a massive set. It's all about surface area. Just attaching the other ones, and then I'll clean some of the stuff out of the way, and we can have a look at the full thing. All right, that's it. Let's get the instruction booklet out of the way. Just putting little astronauts on the stand, because why not? All right, there you have it. There's our ISS with solar panels and all. We can adjust those freely. We have the habitat, actual living and experimentation modules there on the front and through the back. So these are the Russian modules. These are, I think this is Columbus. We have node 1 and 2 in there as well. The Japanese modules is on this side, I believe. I'll do a better, more succinct video. This is just off the cuff. Little short video about this build, but all in all, I'm very impressed with that pretty sizable. You got your radiators back here. And also fun. It was a good build with those. I even didn't totally dislike the solar panel part. That was kind of fun to mass produce. That was all 4 of those, or eight of those really, panel systems. 16 if you include the individual sections. So yeah, that's the. So let me switch to the wide field now. Oh, you know what? My wide cam dropped out, didn't it? Probably ran out of battery. Well, that's okay. Like I said, I'll do another clip. This was really a tech test for today. I had a lot of fun with this. I thought this was a great, a great build, and probably, if I had to choose between the two, just the sheer length of the shuttle. Bring the shuttle into frame here. The sheer length it took to build the shuttle was, a challenge. But there's the shuttle, and we have the space station by comparison. It's nearly as long as it, and it certainly has the same surface area, but it's just the number of pieces, of course. This is much more solid throughout. Same with Saturn V. Saturn V is super tall as well. But these, I might consider putting these in the display case, like I said. And I'll bring Hubble in as well, show you the difference between those two. Now, of course, these are different scales. Hubble is not that big. This is the size of a football field to give you a comparison. In real life, the ISS is massive. Most of it taken up by those panels. And you can see just how much of it is structure, too. Only this section and this section here are the living modules of it. Everything else is structure. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to today's live stream. And again, I really hope that this becomes a more frequent thing where we can actually schedule some vodcast-style streams, a little more informal compared to our presentations we have on Friday nights. And the main reason I wanted to get this one out this week was to make sure we had something up on our channel for the week. So feel free to share this with people you know, if they like LEGO especially, but if they also want to learn a little bit about the recent NASA restructure. We did talk about that a fair bit, especially towards the beginning. And otherwise, I think we'll call it a day on the shuttle. It looks like I got it done in about a half hour early from my deadline, so to speak. So, yeah, we will see you next time. And stay tuned for some announcements on how you can actually participate in a poll to name this series, because I do want to go through and give this a name. We'll have it sort of an episodic format. Maybe we'll get it to every week we'll have something like this. And again, the best part about it is we do not have to worry about clear skies. That does not come into play there. All right. Well, we will see you next time. Maybe we'll try an observing stream the next time you see me. Okay? Have an excellent day, everyone.